For most of my life, studying for school was something very difficult and something that I deeply struggled with on a day to day basis. I remember that there was this one time where I spent 3 hours learning for my mother tongue's test until the mid of the night. It was like I could look outside the window because I was sitting in my kitchen, so I could just turn left and I could see my front garden, and it was completely dark, pitch black, as if someone tied me in a bag of potatoes, as we say in my in my country, dude. And it was depressing, honestly. I the only way that I ever learned studying from school was to just read the theory over and over again. That's just how I was programmed. And that's how it worked. At least until I was like 8 years old. From that point onwards, I wasn't studying because I was motivated to learn. I was studying because I was disciplined to do it. I was using discipline instead of motivation to do it, which is a bad thing because I was operating from the survival paradigm. Oh, sorry, paradigm. I know I butchered that name a couple of times in my videos already, but whatever, here we go. I was trying to survive from learning those notes, and as we already know, whenever you try to chase something because you need it, and because you need it for survival especially, it gets repelled by you over and over again. And so, yeah, even my productivity was shit. My mental health was in the garbage can. My discipline was really good, don't get me wrong. Like, even when I started my self mastery journey in summer of 2023, I was doing very well, don't get me wrong. It was just that I didn't have a clear road plan. That's what I struggled with, really. But yeah, my willpower was still bad because rather than studying for 3 hours and actually getting the theory inside of my head, I would much rather just scroll on YouTube and get some dopamine from watching Angry Birds videos or something like that. I don't know. The point being is that for most of my life, studying for school just wasn't clicking with me. We just weren't getting along whatsoever. It was because on a deep subconscious level, I knew that I just never needed this piece of theory in my life. There was no practicality that I could implement it into my daily life, that I could actually connect with something that I already knew, right? I could make logical patterns, but there were just none. Well, first of all, because I never really had any life experiences. Of course, I formed most of them in the last couple of 3 years, I would say, but still, the pieces of knowledge that I was learning until I was like 16 years old were completely useless. And yeah, sure, the teachers that teach us the specific subjects will argue that, oh, no, you will need this for this and this and this and this. But those are such niched down topics that I will never, most likely never touch upon for the rest of my life. And so, yeah, me knowing this, and with the shitty work ethic that I had for most of my life, it combines together into a disaster. And worst of all, my mental health, and especially my subconscious mind, struggled deeply with this. Like, it was just a disaster in on itself. I had self-limiting beliefs like, if you don't study for 3 hours every single day, you will never get to high school and you will never provide money for your future family. If you if you don't be good to your teachers so that they know that you're a hardworking student, you will never get a good report card. If you, I don't know, if you don't read books, you will never make it to high school and you will never make your family proud. You know, all of these self limiting beliefs that just aren't there to help you, but control you. Because you're feeling emotions like anger, like worry, fear, how is it called? Missing out. I forgot the the right word to say it, but you understand. Also, shaming. You feel all of these five emotions. Oh, scarcity. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. You feel all of these five emotions that are driving you forward, and most of your inner beliefs are shitty, and they hold you back from becoming the best possible version of yourself that you can become in this life, right? Because if you truly just or learning everything that you see in your day-to-day life, not because you needed it to survive in school, but because it is your God-given right, and it helps you get closer to complete abundance in this life, because as a human being, you have the complete right to learn as much as possible. You have the complete God-given birthright to make as much money as possible, to make as many friends as possible, to get so many things as possible, and to learn everything that it is possible. You're not looking at it from this kind of point of view. And that's exactly what I was messing up on. I had all of these self-limiting beliefs inside of my subconscious mind for most of my life. But that changed in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, I was still, even when I started my self-mastery journey in summer of 2023, which is my golden point, I completely went all out. And of course, my grades still improved, because of course, as you improve your mental health, your life gets better in general. But I didn't see such a dramatic increase, such a dramatic advantage in the last couple of weeks, probably. And that was because I realized that I had just bullshit beliefs that were holding me back. I looked at maths, which is a subject that I used to dominate back when I was like 9 years old. And now I was thinking to myself, bro, the theory is getting kind of harder. I don't know if I'll be able to make this exam, and I don't know if I will be able to make it. I'm just not sure. This teacher is explaining it so differently. And what if he wants this specific thing? And if I don't give him this specific answer, he will not accept it. And what if this fucking perfectionism gets me a D on an exam? No, 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 this can't be. I was feeling all of these negative emotions. I was having all of these mental attitudes inside of my head, right? That were attracting this reality. I was acting through the fear, worry, scarcity, uh, how was it called? Pity, or, yeah, shaming, and the last one, anger. Yeah, anger. Or just rage in general. Yeah, I had all of these mental attitudes inside of my subconscious mind that were driving all of these negative emotions. And you have to realize that the universe is like a magnifying glass, meaning that every single mental attitude that you have, every single emotion that you feel, will get magnified. Every single mental attitude that is comprised of your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotionally charged beliefs, your emotions, and identity. All of these things make up your mental attitude. And if you just replace that emotion, not with enlightenment, so that you can completely dominate everything around you, but with these five toxic ones that just bring you your undesired reality. So fear, shaming, worrying, scarcity, and anger, when you replace them with all of these, yeah, that's the reality that you're gonna attract. And 99% of all of your daily beliefs, even your subconscious ones, are programmed for these kinds of beliefs. They are programmed with these kinds of emotions. And so, of course, you won't believe in yourself anymore. But that's what I started to change. You see, when you feel the enlightenment emotion, you start to think of yourself as the god over your reality. Because think about it, we can discuss this as a whole another video. I could record like a whole 1 hour long video if I really wanted to. But basically, you are the god over your own universe. You don't react to the universe. The universe reacts to you. You are the shiniest object in the entire universe. And until you don't realize your shine, it is over for you. And so, here's the thing. If you just think to yourself, if you just think as the best possible version of yourself that you can become in this life, that already has all of the problems that you wish solved, that already has all of his goals achieved, if you just imagine the reality that he's in to the most meticulous details, like to like for example, what color of a shirt does his girl wear on a day-to-day basis? What color is his table where he puts his computer where he works at? What specific uh, detail of blue is the sea where he swims every single day. And you live that reality as a meditation session every single day. And you feel the emotions that he's feeling. And you transfer those emotions into your life, right? You take those mental attitudes that you have and and you make new ones. And you, instead of using those five toxic emotions, you just use the enlightened emotion that you felt in that reality that you wish to attract. You will start to feel those emotions and you will break free. And your ego, here's where the ego part comes in finally. Your ego will adopt these new beliefs. Because let me tell you this, there are no truths in your subconscious mind other than what your subconscious mind accepts as truth. That's right, meaning that nothing is objectively good and bad. We, as third dimensional beings, we are subjugated to polarity, meaning that good and evil are just illusions of our third dimensional realm. And evil things are only evil because you accept them as so. Good things are only good for you because you accept them as so. Gold things are gold for you because you accept them as so. Hot things are hot because you accept them as so. But now's the kicker. If you accept every single setback in your life as a lesson that is good for you, then you won. When you when you even look at the things, the daily challenges that you face every single day, meaning that, for example, studying, and if you just say to yourself, I don't need to study anymore. All I have to do is just study the theory for like 20 minutes and I'll be able to do it. And I'll be able to get a B or an A on the exam. Then that will become a reality over the course of a couple of weeks or even a month. It depends on how strongly you feel those emotions, on how strongly you can adopt them, because it is not about repetition. It is not about mastery. It is not about these kinds of techniques. It is all about knowing that you can make it. Because let me tell you, if I put you through a very traumatic experience, that will deeply penetrate your subconscious mind, right? And it would just take a couple of seconds to completely change your mental attitude, right? So it's not about repetition. It's just about how the way that you emotionally believe. Or no, even fuck that. It's about how much you emotionally know that it will work. Because that determines how fast it will materialize in our universe. So, yeah, have you ever heard about the concept of fake it until you make it? This is exactly what I want you to do. It applies to any kind of skill in life. And recently, it was applied perfectly because recently I'm gonna end my middle school in like 1.5 years from now, and even less actually, 1.25 years. Yeah, and so we were discussing my future in the education system with my parents, and we mentioned the high school and how you don't have to go to school. You don't have to actually go there, but you need to actually study. And then at the end of every single month, you can just take some test and they just leave you alone for the rest of the month. And so I was like, dude, that's so good. I'm actually gonna do that. Like, actually. And he was like, yeah, son, just don't regret it later. And I'm like, regret what? And he's like, yeah, you will have to study a lot. And I'm like, come on, that's nothing for me. And dude, the smirk that he gave me, he literally looked at me so proudly. And this is exactly the desired reality that I materialized. I adopted the confidence, the identity about myself that I already am a god at studying in any kind of endeavor. I adopted the beliefs about myself that I can study for pretty much anything and I can get it down to the most meticulous details. I am so good at it. Then I adopted the thoughts. So, like, for example, the best student in the world doesn't even think about it, right? He's taking the skill for granted. Like the boots that he wears every single day, or the oxygen that he breathes in every single day. That's how he thinks about this. He feels the emotions. Like, of course, he doesn't care about it anymore because he's so good at it that he just does it passively, like I do. As a timeless reader, I take every single life lesson effortlessly. But of course, whenever he gets a new achievement, he's so happy for it because, of course, he deserves it. But even if he fails, he's still proud of it and he's still so joyful about it because now he can learn from it, right? And lastly, he has the emotionally charged beliefs. So basically the same beliefs that we talked about, like he's a god at studying, that he can basically bend reality to his will. No, not bend, but reform his reality to suit and let him win in any kind of challenge. And he basically charges his emotions, so his enlightenment, his love, his joy, his all of the positive emotions, let's just say, into his beliefs, so that because, like I already said, it takes one traumatic experience to truly change your life forever. But it only takes just one enlightenment experience to completely change your mental attitude for success. And afterwards, your desired reality will come. And when all of these mental attitudes that deeply penetrate your subconscious mind just get there and get there and get there, and they slowly replace those negative ones, then your ego will accept all of them as true. And so, your desired reality, where you are disciplined, where you already have the girl, where you already have the money, where you are strongly willpowered so that you don't succumb to masturbation ever again, to video games, to social media, so that where you have the perfect productivity, where you have the perfect resilience, where you have the perfect patience, where you have all of these skills already achieved and leveled up to the max, that reality will soon follow. Because there are no truths in your subconscious mind other than what your ego and your subconscious mind accepts as the truth. And that's the game. That's how you win the war over your ego. It may argue with yourself that, oh yeah, I tried this before but it didn't work. Oh yeah, I tried this technique before but it didn't work. Most of all, that is because you never actually believed that it would work. And you have to remember that you are the god over your reality. So let me tell you this. Do you want to be right? Or do you want to be in your right desired reality? Just answer that question for yourself. And go rewatch these videos and take some fucking notes because I guarantee to you that this will truly change your life. Okay? So just please take action because, yeah, this is truly how you do it. And of course, the materialization of that desired reality won't be instant. It will take a couple of weeks, possibly even a couple of months. It depends on your emotionally charged beliefs and the emotions that you feel and your visualizations and how well you can channel those feelings that you feel in your desired reality into your current one so that you can change your mental attitudes. Basically the things that we talked about in this video. It depends on how much you can or how much you can intensify those experiences. Okay? If you want to learn about healthy mindsets that will guarantee you success in the long term and in the short term by mending your mental health and bringing you on the right path, no matter what, no matter the life test, no matter the goal, then I highly suggest I should go check out Timeless Readers Mindsets in the description. It is truly something life changing and you would be an absolute fool to miss out, especially with the discount that is happening over there right now. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you